I am halfway through the Harry Potter series, and I am not going to pause and review The Language of Thorns. I just read it, and I thought it was surprisingly good. I actually thought it was better than I thought it was going to be. So I read it. Before I read it, I thought my thoughts were, okay, it's gonna be cool. 6 stories about things. I didn't really look at the pictures because I didn't want to get spoiled on it with some of the pictures. Which I'm not going to show really much of the pictures besides for like the beginning parts. I'm not going to show the full pictures in this, but because I want this to be spoiler free, just in case you don't want to see the full pictures. Just like I didn't want to see the full pictures, I'm just going to show you some like little just glimpses. But yeah. I thought that this was surprisingly good. I really enjoyed some of the stories in this, and some of them I thought weren't really that good. I didn't really like some of them, which I'm not going to say because I'm going to do a whole ranking thing, and yeah. I'm going to do a whole ranking thing in another video, but yeah. So, I'm just going to go through them and review. I'm not going to review each little story because that's what I'm saving my ranking for. But I'm going to review the book as a whole. And first off, I thought that this writing style that the author chose was really good. I really liked the writing style that the author just did, and they had about to have the same writing style throughout the entire book. And I thought it was really good. Although it could be slow at sometimes, I still thought it was really good and it really fit the story. And it's just like, yeah, all like the different phrases just like were like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. Besides for some sentences where it just feels like it just makes this book feel kind of cheap. Like, what? Why are they saying that stuff? And this whole book is like supposed to be as fairy tales, changed, and then they just have weird dialogue, or not just dialogue, but just sentences of the characters' thoughts that don't make any sense, and I just drop the book on the floor. But yeah, the thing about this is that it really depends on the stories that you like. I was just looking at some people, and some people were saying a lot that they liked, some of the ones that I didn't like. I'm not going to say, but yeah. The general thought was When Water Sang Fire was the best, and a lot of people said that. I'm not going to say I thought it was the best. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was bad, but was it the best? Maybe. Maybe I do think it's the best. Maybe it is, but I'm not going to say because I'm going to say in a different ranking. But yeah. The 6 all feel very inconsistent. That's one of the things that I don't really like, is that you get through the first one and you're like, that was a pretty good story about this human and an animal becoming friends. Then you get to the next story about a human and an animal not becoming friends. And then you get to the third story that has nothing to do with humans or animals. And then you get to the fourth story that has it has humans, but no animals. Then you get to the fourth story, which is about a river and a human. The fifth one is about a toy and a human. The sixth one is about 2 humans. Okay, I mean, I'd rather them all be very different. Like, these are all different, but they're also similar at the same time. I'd rather them be just completely different to each other than kind of telling the same story over and over again. Also, the page count is just weird. I don't know why. The first story is 40 pages, and it was really big, very long, descriptive. Then the second one is 20 pages, and it goes by, like, just so simple. And then you get to the final one, which is 80 pages, and it just feels like, okay, this feels like a whole book. They could have stretched this out, and it would be a whole book, and okay, I don't really like how, I wish they were all the same, around 40 to 50 pages, instead of, Like, maybe the last one could be 60 pages, but I wish that they were all around the same page count. Otherwise, it's like, you read the first one, and it's long, and then you read the second one, and it feels it's like the second one just doesn't feel as good as the first one, because I'm not saying I don't like the second one better than the first one, but it just doesn't feel like, yes, that was a good story, because it was so short, and it's not like the story's fault. The stories could be better. Like, Little Knife was really short, but I really liked the story. But when Waters, I do like the story. But The Witch of Duva is a longer one. I think it's like 40, it might be 30, but it was a longer one. But I thought that one was just okay, the story. And yeah, it really depends. I wish that a lot of the shorter ones are better in my opinion, but I wish we spent more time with the shorter ones instead of just doing the bigger ones. Last time I made one of these videos, my phone just crashed for some reason. I had to restart the whole thing, so I'm gonna kind of make it quick. But yeah, I really like the story. It was surprisingly good, and I'll have my ranking of the 6 stories. Yeah, I'll have my ranking of the 6 stories. But what this story is, it was a book that I thought was gonna be not as good as Shadow and Bone, the series. But it actually is better for me. Not the whole series. I do think one of the books, which is my favorite book in Shadow and Bone series, is better. But it is better than 2 Shadow and Bone books, which is weird to me because those books are like books. This is just a collection of stories. But it was really well done, and the illustrations are amazing. Just that the way they illustrate some of especially the people. I think the people look really good compared to, like, all the other stuff. Like, the artwork sometimes, though, is like, okay, what is happening? You just have this whole page of just nothing for Little Knife, and then, but for some, you have, like, these tons of different stuff about animals, and it's kind of weird, but I like it, and I really like the illustrations. They were really good. But yeah, I'm gonna give The Language of Thorns an 83%, which is higher than than 2 other GrishaVerse series. Once I finish the Harry Potter, I have 4 more books, not including the Fantastic Beasts books, that I'm going to read. And I have the 5th to 8th book, and yeah. Then I'll read King of Scars duology, and I'll see if I like that one. We'll see. Okay, bye.